Hello, Wastelanders. This is Jewel Smith. Today I am Fiona, General of the Minutemen, and with me, as always, is my significant other, Hancock, who seems to be missing at the moment. He might still be on that bridge because we were on that bridge earlier. But, oh, no, there he is. Hey, why are you sitting on your butt? All of a sudden you appeared there. You must have fallen off the bridge and then somehow teleported to me or something. Alright, well, you'll be alright in a second. It's not giving me the option to stim pack him, so he's got his own stim packs in his inventory, so he should be alright in a second. Alright. So today we are going to have a little tour of Tenpines Bluff. I toured Abernathy Farm in my last video, and Tenpines was a settlement that I unlocked fairly early in the game. It's not as big as Tenpines, or it's not as big as Abernathy, sorry. It is Tenpines Bluff. It's not as big as Abernathy. I have 20 people living at Abernathy Farm. I have 15 people living at Tenpines, which is kind of crowded in there, to be honest. It's a tiny little settlement, so it shouldn't take very long to give you the tour. This is where I put the front gate. And as I usually do, I'll give you a little look-see around the outside edges. Let's see what I've done. That's the original building that was there when you first get Tenpines. Oh, somebody's shooting. Alright. For once, we might actually see a little bit of action. No? It's over already, huh? Ooh, explosions even. All the turrets are pointing that direction, so it must be happening over there. My goodness. Whoa, something went flying. What's going on? Oh, I bet it's it. Whoa! I bet that, yeah, it's the checkpoint. There's a Minutemen checkpoint down there. And I tend to get a lot of red devils spawning inside that house for some reason. My goodness, what happened here? Oh, super mutant suicider, huh?
Time to collect.
Yes, it is. Huh. Anything else going on here? Oh, see. There's one of the Minutemen. Well, they must have been attacked, but it didn't give me the go defend the checkpoint prompt like it usually does. Are you all by yourself out here, guy? Oh no, there's somebody else over there. You alright?
Excuse me.
This site's in good hands.
Okay. Well, alrighty then. Oh, there's somebody. A couple of people. Oh, goodies. Jeez, are we recruiting nothing but old men now? What's the deal? Hello? Oh, we have... Is this one lady? We have a lady. Okay. Now, there's a suit of power armor in there when you first find this location. Well, it's not a location marked on the map, but when you first get here, you can get a suit of power armor out of there. I've already grabbed it. Alright, sorry about that little detour. Very odd. Okay. It didn't give me the defend the checkpoint. Why are there mattresses here? Just don't mind these. And a pillow. Why is there... Okay, alright. Whatever. It's the wasteland. Alright, so let's go back up and continue our tour of Tenpines. Sorry about that. Alright, so where were we? We were right here. Right. So when I get settlements, as I mentioned in my last video, I like to enclose them as much as possible. I use shack bridges, and then as I progress through building up the settlements, I replace the shack bridges with other things. The shack bridges are great because you can put little walls on them, you can put turrets on them, you can put little guard towers, guard spots on them. And then as I build buildings, I use the back of the buildings to be part of the perimeter. I used to have a gate right here, but nobody ever seemed to go in and out in that spot, so I moved the gate over here. Alright, so let's enter Tenpines. I'll put away my gun so you can see things better. Hello, Tenpines. Here we have a caravan stop. Nice and cozy. Carla was just here a little bit earlier. Oh, it looks like that doctor guy is coming in, maybe. What's his name? I don't see him that often. Doc Weathers. Right. Alright, so he's heading in. There's a little spot for them to sit. A little bed for them to take a nap. And of course, always gotta have a toilet. I think I said in my last video that these outhouses were added by the Wasteland Workshop, but I don't think they are. I think they were added by Far Harbor because they're part of the barn thing, and I think the barns were added when Far Harbor was added. I am currently level 108. I don't know if I mentioned that already, and I have all of the DLC that's out so far, which means everything except Nuka World and Vault Tech. I don't have those yet. Who's putting Nuka-Cola on the floor? Alright, this is my Minutemen barracks. The guards don't actually sleep in here because the guards are always on duty, but they have to have beds anyway. Alright, and putting cram on the floor. I mentioned that I keep having a problem with things falling on the ground. It doesn't matter whether I set them up in my workshop or pick them up and set them there like that. They just keep falling through tables and shelves. I don't know why that keeps happening. Alright, so I have a little windmill giving a little bit of power to this settlement. Now at Abernathy I had one of those generators that does 100 power. Here I don't have that. It's a small settlement. When I started working on it, well, I mean, there's just not that many people that live here, and I just don't see putting in a giant generator. They do all right. They have candles. They have a little bit of power. The bar has power. This was an original building on the site, and I enclosed it. I put a general store out front. I made a bar inside. Nice little spot for everyone to hang out after a long, hard day's work. This is where the bartender sleeps. I don't know why the general store lady is not at work. This is her house, and she's not sleeping. She probably ran off when she went to go shooting at the super mutants or something. Sometimes they run off. But she sleeps in there. I added that on to the side. There's her nice little setup of junk that she's selling. Now, this is one of my guards. I've mentioned in the past that all of my guards are Minutemen. He is one exception because I think he was one of the original settlers that was here when I first discovered Tenpines. So I kind of left him armored as he... Whoa, sorry about that. Armored as he was when I found him. But then as I sent more guards out here, the guards I would send out would be Minutemen. wearing Minutemen armor, Minutemen hats, and all the Minutemen gear. This little field was here when I unlocked the settlement. I just left it like it was because it has these nice little mounds and it's got this little brick wall kind of around it, so I just left it like it was. And I added all those mute fruit bushes. Those were, you can see where they're kind of brown, dead bushes. And in my, because I play on console, in my game I can't remove, I really wish I could, these plants like this. Because if you try to build a building over a plant like that, you can't remove it while in workshop mode. And then the plant just, you know, sticks up through the building all the time and it looks ridiculous. So it kind of limits what you're able to build unless you want these big bushes in your buildings. But anyway, these brown dead bushes I like to fill in sometimes with mute fruit.
Seems to be growing well.
Yeah, they are. So they look like they're alive again and snazzy. So, and I built this little living area over here. What did I say? I had 15 people, 15 water. Oh, I should build an extra water thing. I like them to have a little bit more food and water than they really need. But you can see my hotbar there in the top right corner. It's almost full. I've really built just about everything I can possibly build here. Let's put that down. Bam. Alright. And these are little houses for folks to live in. Nothing too fancy. I used to take places like this and put in bookshelves, and then I'd fill the bookshelves with lots of items, and I'd put in dressers full of clothes, and I would just get really detailed. But then, you know what? Then they would chuck Molotov cocktails at enemies, and things would go flying everywhere, and I spent more of my time picking up the items that were all over the place. And I just got tired of it, so I don't quite make it as detailed as I used to. But here's a nice little bathroom with a bathtub for them. This is where my scavenger lives and works. This is the scavenger's kitty. Hey, Mew Mew. There's the scavenger's workbench, and my scavenger lives in here with his girlfriend, and he collects flight helmets. I don't know why. He just thinks those are cool. So when I find flight helmets, I put them in here for him. He's a former raider who decided to settle down and join us here at the settlement. Now, that's my headcanon. That didn't really happen in the game. And I wish I could recruit raiders and let them join the settlements, but you can't. So instead I have this guy. There he is. That's the scavenger. He's still wearing some of his raider gear, but that's cool. He's settled down now. He helps us scavenge things and lives a better life. So that's cool. And up here I built, this is our armory. Now I have a girl with a weapons stand, but you know, let's be realistic. A tiny little settlement like this, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, I doubt she's doing a very brisk business in selling armaments. So what I think in my headcanon is really she's the armorer. She's the person who helps them she's a gunsmith. She helps them fix their weapons and keeps the settlement protected and armed and all that sort of thing. So here she is hanging out. There's a whole bunch of gear, ammunition, mines and whatnot. And this is where she lives with her old man. We've got a little safe hidden back here that's full of goodies. See what I was talking about, those bushes coming up through the buildings? Urgh. I wish I could get rid of those. Alright, and over here I have the armor bench. And there's a robot here at Tenpines. When I got the Automatron DLC, hey Galadriel, she's assigned, yeah, because she's a Protectron, she's assigned to guard duty. When I got the Automatron DLC and I was able to build robots, I started building some and sending them out to my settlements that were smaller and needed more protection. And that was definitely Tenpines. It's doing pretty well now. I think it's got 106, I think, is its defense, which isn't bad for a small settlement. They don't seem to get attacked that often. But I sent Galadriel out here. I've got other robots I built. I've got Kahulin, and I've got Grognak, and I've got Bodacia, Aphrodite, bunch of different, robots that I've built and sent out to protect different places. Kahulin protects the castle, and Aphrodite protects Jamaica Plain. Anyway, we'll see all of them in other videos. This is the doctor's house. I used to have a door on it, but then she always seemed to have a problem getting inside and going to sleep for some reason. So I had to take the door off and change the front of the house a little bit so she could get in. I don't know why they have such a problem sometimes getting into houses. You would think if I can path my way somewhere, they should be able to path their way to the same place. But that's not the way it works. Alright, so she's our doctor in here. Her doctor stand is out there, and we use this little building as a hospital. This is another original building on the site, and it has these 2 mattresses that cannot be moved or destroyed, so they're kind of stuck there. And this structure cannot be moved or destroyed, so I just turned it into the hospital. Nobody sleeps there. And there's the doc. Hey doc, how you doing? Some of my doctors, I put them in white lab coats with ballistic weave, but not all of them. This is kind of a, low rent settlement, so it doesn't have a fancy doctor. But, they get by. And I think that's about it. That's the whole settlement. This fire was already here when I moved in, so I left it. Some of the turrets and things here, and we have a bunch of hey Doc Weathers, there's 2 cows. Why are there 2 cows? Who else is here? Maybe it's one of the provisioners. The cow got stuck here. That happens. Anyway, that's it. That's what I got. That's Tenpines. Not terribly exciting, but it's a sweet little settlement. They do all right. 15 people living here. Well, I think it's 14 plus a robot. I think the robot counts, even though the robot doesn't sleep in a bed. The robot seems to be stuck back there. And that's all we got going on. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, visiting Tenpines. I think my next video I'm gonna go to Starlight Drive-In. That's a pretty big settlement. In Starlight, I've got 20 people living there. I have an arena where right now I have a Deathclaw that's trapped there, and so I'm going to set it loose to fight a couple of my robots. I've got a blue and a red robot named Fire and Ice, and they're going to fight a Deathclaw in my next video, and I will be touring Sanctuary. So you'll get to see that. I don't really have a live stream type schedule, but I'm going to try to release a video every day or every other day, continue my tour. If you want to know more about me, you can check out my About Me page on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, And I'm supposed to say like and subscribe, right? That's what everybody says. But, it does help me know if people are interested. And you can always leave questions and comments and requests for me. I'm more than happy to go and fight things and shoot things and kill things. My daughter says that I am being like Bob Ross, and that when I give my tours of the settlements, I'm all calm and mellow, but when I'm actually playing the game, I curse and swear like an Irish sailor. So if you want to see me do that, I can do that too. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Bye.